Hey everybody, this is for all my YouTube subscribers. I did the 60s just yesterday, and I'm going to be doing 50 favorite soul and R&B songs this time of the 70s. God, this was kind of a challenge for me because there's so many great. From 1970 to 1979, that's pretty hard to choose. So I just had to narrow it down to 50 favorite soul and R&B songs from that decade. God, so many great soul songs. That was the pinnacle all the great of all that great stuff. I go from 1970 to 1979, just like how I did it with the 60s. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start off with 1970. This is sort of a little bit of a change that's going until 71. With 71, that was the huge, that was a big leap of all that great soul and R&B. Okay, first one is Ooh Child, things are gonna get easier. The Five Stair Steps. They were an old one-hit wonder group. The B-side to that single was their version, if you can believe it, their version of the Beatles' Dear Prudence, which was actually pretty nice. After that, I chose a really great soul song by this one-hit wonder. There was a lot of one-hit wonders, mostly in the early 70s. Not to say that the whole decade, pretty much the whole decade, there were one-hit wonders, but specifically in 1970, there were a lot of groups and artists that only appeared to only have one hit that everybody knows. And this one's called Hey There Lonely Girl, don't you know that boy loves you, by Eddie Holman. This was his only hit, Hey There Lonely Girl. Okay, the next one. This one's a classic. Written back in 1967 by old Stevie Wonder, and I love this song. They got some sad faces known to man. I ain't too much clown, the tears of a clown, and there's no way around. I love that song. Very classic early 70s song there. Well, 1970, the beginning of it all. That's right. Smokey Robinson and the Miracles hit #1 with that song at the very end of 1970. Okay, the next one here, the Jackson 5. Man, I could have chosen pretty much all their hits and called the list right there. But this one's my favorite from theirs. And the next one here in 1971. Stop the love you say might be your own. Darling, take be slow, and someday you'll be all alone. I love that song. Stop the Love You Say by the Jackson 5, one of their many string of #1s in that year. Okay, and I love this song too. This was written by good old Tony Joe White, who wrote Polk Salad Annie, and this one too. A rainy night in Georgia, and I have a feeling this world is going to come to an end. I love that song by Brooke Benton, who was humongously huge in the early 60s, but he had a resurgent here in 1970 with that hit. Well, it was kind of 69, 70, but it came out in early 1970. Okay, and then the next group is the Spinners. Now, originally in the early years, they were called the Detroit Spinners. And before they were produced by Tom Bell, they were under, forgot what record label they were under. But originally they were called the Detroit Spinners. And this one's a good one right here. It's a shame. I love it with the sitar. It's a great soul song. Okay, 1971, another Jackson 5. Never can say goodbye. Ooh, 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 ooh. I love that song, Jackson 5. Never Can Say Goodbye, were written by Clifton Davis. Okay, and the next one here is Jean Knight. This was her only hit. Mr. Big Stuff, who do you think you are, Mr. Big Stuff? I love that song, Jean Knight, the only hit she had. Okay, after that is the Dramatics. I love the Dramatics, and this was my favorite from theirs. What you see is what you get now, baby. What you see is what you get, is what you get. Look at me now. I love that song. The Dramatics, what you see is what you get. After that, I love this. This next group here, I love too. They're from Palm Springs, Florida. Cornelius Brother and Sister Rose would treat her like a lady. It was kind of a little bit of a rocking song too. All my friends, now you ask. I love that song. Next here is a funky type song. Reminds me a little bit like what's that one song? "Tighten Up" by Archie Bell and the Drells. The group is called "The Beginning of the End." That name's kind of stupid, don't you? Okay, "Funky Nassau." That's kind of a cool song. "Funky Nassau." After that is "What's Going On" by Marvin Gaye. I always love "What's Going On." Great song. After that, "I'm so tired of being alone. I'm so tired of being wrong." Al Green. That was his first hit on the radio, or his first big hit. Yeah, I love old Al Green. I love Marvin Gaye. Okay, then the last one here for 71 is "Want Ads" by the Honeycomb. Gonna put it in the want ads. They also had another song that was similar to that one called "Stick Up" or "Stick It Up." It wasn't as good as "Want Ads." Okay, 1972. My God. Many great songs from 72. I chose a lot here. Another Cornelius Brothers and Sister Rose. "It's too late to turn back now. I believe I'm falling in love." I love that song. And "Bet you by golly, wow, you're the one that I've been waiting for forever." The Stylistics. And again, all that great Philly soul, Tom Bell stuff. Fantastic. I've listened to the debut, their first album. It's okay, but they also did have "You're My Everything." That was from their first album too. Okay, the Spinners. Here's the Spinners again. I got a few coming up. Here's "I'll Be Around." Love that song, 1972. And then we get "Backstabbers" by the OJs. Backstabbers. Love that one. And Bill Withers with his album "Still Bill." I like "Lean on Me," but it's not as good as "Use Me Up." Your baby, you're gonna use me up. "Use Me" by Bill Withers. I love that song, man. Cool song with a clavinet as well. After that is "I Gotcha." I bet you didn't see me now, did you? Old Joe Tex. I like old Joe Tex. He also had another one later on, "Ain't Gonna Bump No More." Okay, then another dramatic song. I love this dramatic song. It's not as good as "What You See Is What You Get," but it is still good. It's called "In the Rain." Kind of a cool, atmospheric 70s type song. Okay, and the last two here for 72 are two Al Green songs, and of course you know these. "Ooh, let's stay together." I love that song. "Good or bad or happy or sad." And also, "I'm still in love with you." I love that song too, and that album. Both of those albums I really like. Okay, 73, a lot from 73. "People all over the world join in." It's called "Love Train, Love Train." Classic song by the OJs. Once again, another OJ song. And then this one too, I love this song. "Midnight Train to Georgia, leaving on the midnight train." Gladys Knight and the Pips. I love that song. Great song. Look at this, another Spinner song. Two Spinner songs within 1 year. I chose a lot from theirs. "Could it be I'm falling in love with you, baby?" And "One of a Kind, Love Affair It Is." I love that song too. All three of those albums came from the first produced album by Tom Bell on Atlantic Records. Okay, and I love this one too. My dad loves this song. Now, in 73, he didn't hear it in 73. He didn't know this song until much later when they had a club version of this song called "Soul Makossa" by Manu Dibango. It was kind of a moderate song. It wasn't too big. Which I think Michael Jackson, he took that from one of his songs from Thriller. Yeah, but anyway, "Soul Makossa" by Manu Dibango. That's the only song I know from his. Okay, then we got Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. I love Harold Melvin. Good group. But the one I chose here is "The Love I Lost Was a Sweet Loss." I love that song. Beautiful song. Love it. Fantastic. "The Love I Lost." And then we get Stevie Wonder, another Stevie Wonder written track, sung by Aretha Franklin, and it's Until You Come Back to Me, that's what I'm gonna do. Although it was a pretty big hit in the early 74, but it was released in 73. Okay, then we get two Stevie Wonder songs. I can't leave out old Stevie Wonder. Actually, there's three I put on here from him. Superstition, I love Superstition. Boom, 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 boom. And Higher Ground. Boom, bom, 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 bom. Yeah, two of those Stevie Wonder songs. Plus also, You Are the Sunshine of My Life. Love that song. Great, beautiful song by Stevie Wonder from his Talking Book. Same as Superstition. Higher Ground was from Inner Visions. Okay, then the last one I chose from 73 is Who's That Lady? Originally written back in 64 as a slow, kind of a little bit of a Motown slow song, but they give it a little bit more of a funk. It's everything. It's funk, it's rock, soul, and it's done by the Isley Brothers. Who's that lady? Who's that lady? Sexy lady. I love that song. Also, I almost chose Will It Go Round in Circles by not Bill Withers, but Billy Preston. Almost chose that song. Okay, 74. I want to kind of keep this under 15. Okay, Love's Theme by Love Unlimited Orchestra, which of course was conducted by old Barry White. And speaking of Barry White, I love this one. This is my favorite from his. It's I'm never gonna give you up. I'm never gonna ever stop. Stop thinking the world about you, girl. I just can't live without you. And then the next one, Jungle Boogie by Kool and the Gang. I love that song. Cool song. And then Al Wilson. I like old Al Wilson. This was his only hit. Show and Tell, just a game I play. Although he did have a song called Spiders and Snakes, not to be confused with old Jim Stafford. That was his first hit in 68. Okay, then also Don't You Worry About a Thing. I love that song too, from Inner Visions, Stevie Wonder. And then two, the wrapped up 74, Tell My Son, another Stevie Wonder written song. I got a lot of Stevie on here. You probably tell. Tell me something good. Rufus. I always love that song. It's a bit of a funky, nice groove song. Okay, and then 74, what last one here is Feel Like Making Love to You. I could have chosen a lot of Roberta Flack, but that's my favorite from hers, definitely. I do like some of her earlier hits, but that one's my favorite there. Written by Gene McDaniels, which you might remember he did that song, Tower of Strength and 100 Pounds of Clay in the early 60s. But yeah, I love that song. 1975, another Rufus song. My dad has this on vinyl, on record. And it's called Once You Get Started, from her album Rufusized. I always liked that song. That was always kind of a cool song. And then The Tramps. This was actually a song I discovered about 10 years ago when I first, when me and my brother got GTA 5. This was the first time I heard this song by The Tramps, and it's called Rubber Band. It's from an album called The Great Zing Album. Never heard of it. I've seen the album and the cover and the name of it. I never heard, I never listened to any of the songs, but other than this song. Stretch me out like a rubber band. Cool song, look that up, called Rubber Band, not Rubber Band Man by the Spinners. And speaking of the Spinners again, speaking of the Spinners, Games People Play. I like that song. I always love that song by the Spinners. 1976, I got a few here. Car Wash by Rose Royce. I like that song. It's fun. I really like the soundtrack album, I guess. And plus also in 76 is Sing a Song by Earth, Wind & Fire. Sing a song, sing a song. And 77, and then a couple of these are, okay, the only song I chose from 77, I love this song, Easy Like Sunday Morning. The Commodores, love that. 78, I only chose one song from 78, and it's by a Canadian-German group called Heatwave. And as you may know, this guy also wrote the many of songs for Michael Jackson for his Off the Wall album, and it's Groove Line from their album Central Heat. And last two songs for 49 to 50. I Will Survive, Gloria Gaynor, classic disco. And I also chose this one too as well by Smokey Robinson. Once again, was another song that I did not know until I played GTA 5 10 years ago. A song called Cruisin'. Cruisin'. Let's cruise away from here. Anyways, that's my 50 favorite songs from the 50 favorite soul and R&B songs from the 1970s. I love the 70s. Great time for soul music, mostly in the early 70s, from 70 about to 74. Classic stuff. There was other songs I forgot or missed or whatever, but yeah, that's all right. You know, those are my favorite for now, okay? Maybe I might end up making another video sometime in the future. Make a bigger list. But anyways, okay, bye-bye.